Hey guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger. How you doing? Welcome back. It's Kerbal Space Program. So, last time, as you might remember, we went to Midmas and came back with 3 different rocket ships, and we unlocked a whole bunch of science. We got the gravioli, mastacholi, spaghetti detector, ravioli, whatever, and the sensor array computing nose cone. You've also got the... What else did we grab? I think we grabbed Advanced Metalworks. And... Did we grab Large Electrics last time? I don't remember. We grabbed a bunch of stuff. That's all that matters. So, we have 133 science left. I'm going to check. Make sure there's no... Carbonauts. Nope. We're kind of full up, but... There we go. At least for now... We're set. So, we got a couple of things to play with now. We got some new rockets to play with and some new other parts to play with. So I want to go ahead and show off something I've been working on over here in the spaceplane hangar. That would be this guy, the Sparrow 1. Yes, I've actually built a jet almost. It's not really a space plane. It's more of a jet. Terrestrial jet. You see there's my flag in the background looking all awesome. So, I'm gonna get some crew in here. Jebediah, no. Bill, you're stupid. You're stupid enough to try and do this. Okay, so let's take her out to the launch pad. Jazz. Woo. But here we go. I have to remember to keep the brakes turned on for the moment. And actually, I always forget this engine needs to be down here. So, I have all of our our basics as far as science goes attached to this bad boy. I'm pretty sure we do. Might not have a gravioli detector on here. Huh. Maybe I should put one on here. That'd be useful. We can make a Sparrow too with it on there. I'm not too worried about it. But can log the pressure data from here. We've already done that on the runway. So I'm just going to go ahead and take off. You see I've got these huge scoops here too. The radial air intakes. Those are very helpful. And then these guys, your basic jet engines with, obviously with a little bit of fuel here. They actually work pretty well. So I'm going to throttle up. And turn SAS on. We're already kind of leaning to the left a little bit. Pulled up. It's probably gonna get to the end of runway. I've had to do this before, and then I'll just do that. That works. It's like to get taken off from an aircraft carrier. So there you go. So it flies, which is always important. You probably notice I have a Supratron on here, with some landing legs. And you're very likely asking, well, Nihon, why do you have that? There's absolutely no reason to have landing legs on a jet. And I would normally say, you're right. But I kind of refer to that as my emergency eject. So if this thing gets out of control and I need, if I get high up into the atmosphere and it gets out of control and I need to eject, I can do that. And the other thing it does is it lets me fly to certain areas, separate, and then I can have like a pinpoint precision drop on a certain biome. I don't have to use the rockets anymore and play around with everything and try and get, I'm above the mountains now and I better make sure that I land this properly. I don't have to do that anymore. I could just fly one of these bad boys out there, or if I need to make a version that has the longer range, I can do that, because I don't know how much of a range these have. But as you can see, kind of doing a little bit of flying, so log temperature. Log pressure data, flying at Kerbin. No, I'm not gonna EVA you. Bill, you look kind of concerned. So I've got most of the science that's out here. I don't really need to worry about it too much. let's let's show off that capability to fly a little bit here. So I've been flying in a straight line now for a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my aircraft. Make sure I'm pitching my nose up a little bit, keeping it above kind of the line there for the horizon. I don't want to dip below that because I'll start to dip my nose down and then I'll go ahead and it's a lot harder to fly one of these planes in KSP than it actually probably be to fly it in real life. It's not as responsive because you don't have the joystick, so you're not, or like any kind of control that you normally would have on an airplane. So you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. You can see I do have some control surfaces on here. I actually have 2 tails, 2 wings, and that's about it. Now if I go ahead and hit gear to bring my gear down, it also brings down my landing legs. But the good news is you can see the legs are below where the wheels are, so they don't actually cause any issues whatsoever. I could have gone with shorter legs, but I decided I wanted the sturdier ones to make it a little easier to use. Oh, we are kind of descending a little bit here. Materials Bay. Why the hell not? Let's keep the data. So let's pick up a little bit of speed. Okay, now we're starting to pick up speed again. Okay. So we slowed down a little bit there, but now we are accelerating and climbing again at a really slow rate. That's alright. Going plenty fast. Just want to make sure that we aren't keeping ourselves way too high nose up or way too low nose down. This is probably a pretty good angle. If you ever have actually seen an airplane fly, they do kind of fly. They don't fly straight. They fly kind of at an upward angle because that's how you get the, oh god, what's the name of the effect that goes under the wings that creates the air pressure that actually creates lift. Oh god, I can't remember it. I want to say it's like Bertolli principle or something like that. I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to Google it. It's gonna bother me all night if I don't. But there's an actual scientific principle about why planes fly like this if you've ever seen them. And if you fly fast enough, you can kind of fly a little more nose down. But usually your commercial jetliners for flight, they will have their nose be just slightly pitch up. They don't fly straight up and down because gravity's always tugging on you when you're doing this. So you'll always, yeah, see if you notice, I'm like kind of flying like that, and I'm descending. So this way it's always keeping me, I lost a lot of speed there. So if I do this, it's always keeping me pointing upward like I'm going up into the atmosphere, but I'm actually not. It's kind of keeping me balanced. There we go. Let's adjust that a little more, make it so that we're definitely not flying cockeyed there. I am losing a little bit of speed. So to show this off, I'm going to show off the... Now I haven't actually been able to land this because every time I've tried to land it, something's gone terribly wrong and it's blown up on me and I've had to eject. But for demonstrative purposes here, I want to go ahead and show kind of what happens. Let's say get up to about, oh yeah, by the way, these engines can flame out totally. So let's say I get up to about 2,500 meters a second, and then my engines just, oh no, they shut down. Oh no! I'm out of fuel. What do I do? What do I do? Gonna have to bail out. There go the engines. And all I have to do is hit my parachute, which now turns into a drag chute. And I can always raise that gear if I want to, just to make it look nice and fancy. And there's the Sparrow debris doing its thing. So obviously when it gets to about 500 meters, there we go, it'll open up and we'll be nice and safe. Bill will come down and touch the earth, and he's happy now. Now you can't really EVA too much, because when you EVA with a normal rocket, you'll EVA kind of on the backside here. When you do it on these, you can see these little grooves. Those are your step ladders. So you're actually EVAing, or especially on this side, you can see the actual ladders in the module here. So he'll pop out here, and he'll immediately fall off, probably, and fall right to his death from about 200 meters in the sky. Something like that. Good reports from the grasslands. Reset experiments. Also, if you notice, I have all of my science is still intact right here on the module. So that's another reason why that is where it is. And boop, and land. Yay! So we're safe. And can you actually go ahead maybe and do some seismic data? Oh, I haven't done any seismic data from here. Okay, yeah, that'll be good to do. Do the data you haven't done, dummy. So, yeah, if EVA, notice he kind of comes out here on the side. EVA report, flying over, oh, keep the data. F forward, crew report from the grasslands itself. So, there we go. Go ahead and recover the vessel. And recover the Sparrow 1. And alright, there we go. Got an additional 12 science. Hooray! It's still not enough to do anything. But for the remainder of the episode, what I want to do is, now that I've had fun with the Sparrow 1, I would like to go ahead and do some work here with... Can't be the first part in the vessel, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just grab the... I got a Perbodyne. Don't need to do much, because we're going to be building a unmanned rocket anyways here. So I don't need to do that. That's Perbodyne. So what I want to do is, let's just strap a couple bad boys on here. Look how tiny that is. These are the Rockomax fuel tanks. These are the ones that work with the mainsail, and that's what we're going to be working on today. It's going to be working on the mainsail, getting used to it, working on designs that might work. So we've also got the skipper, which is kind of a mid-level engine. But the mainsail is one engine that we can use. We could also use the atomic motor. That is it actually uses fuel. Despite it being called the atomic rocket motor, it uses fuel because they don't have atomic fuel in the game yet. So what I've learned from watching various videos and reading the wiki is that the mainsails work best in getting out of the atmosphere on Kerbin, and then the atomic motors work really well in space. They're very efficient in space because they have a low, if you look on here, they have a very low mass to thrust ratio compared to the mainsails in space. So these will allow you to kind of maneuver more, and you get more out of the fuel that you'll have. So this is just kind of our test rocket. So I'm going to go ahead and, because we're testing the mainsail, see how good it is, I'm going to go ahead and launch this. Just get an idea. Just launch it and just go full blast and just be like, see how far we can get with with two large fuel tanks and a single mainsail engine. So, in 3, 2, 1. There you go. This actually looks like a proper rocket. You can see we're accelerating pretty quickly, so this is kind of a test. We're going to go full throttle here. Right at the start. It is overheating. It's something we have to be careful of, because if it overheats too much, it'll explode. And I've heard that there's a possible bug with that still, and there was a bug in 0.2.2 where if you attach it directly to one of these large engines, it would overheat really quickly and explode. It's supposedly fixed in 0.2.3 so that it wouldn't overheat so much. Let me take a look. I want to see how much we're doing as far as by the way, we can also, if we want to, we can kind of limit the thrust on the engines. We can shut down the engine. We can lock the gimbal on it. A lot of stuff we can do with the individual engines. So we're flying right now into space. We're at about 12,000 feet. And you've only burned one of the tanks up. But we're burning fuel at a pretty rapid rate. And it's not actually, this isn't even the most efficient way to do it. So you can see this is fairly powerful engine. We may actually get into space with just this. This would be remarkable, I think. I would be pretty surprised if we did this. We are in orbit. A single mainsail is enough to get us into orbit with 2 tanks. Just with this one little thing on it. Obviously, the more weight you have, the harder it's going to be. And we're already pushing off into a Kerbal escape orbit. And we're escaping. Look at that. We are escaping Kerbal in our untitled spacecraft. How cool is that? It'll probably actually come back down, I'm sure. As we slow down, I think it'll probably not end up being an escape. I think we'll probably just be able to maybe get to Minus orbit? I don't know. But it's really cool. We could actually, with just this, we could actually put some deep space probes into play. Because they won't weigh that much. They'll basically just be a Probodon and some extra weight in the form of science stuff and batteries and whatnot. So we could, in theory, we could use just these two as for a launcher for small craft. Very, very small craft. Just like the way that NASA actually does it. They don't use gigantic tanks. They use basically... Oh! There we go. So I'm going to head back. But yeah, basically they use kind of a setup like this where it's just one big long tank with a huge nozzle engine at the end and just off in space you go. But that's really cool that we could do that. So these are very powerful. But I think I want to test a few more things out first. So I'm going to hop back into the good old builder building, the VAB, and work on some stuff, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm pretty sure I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I've made myself kind of a little orbital launcher, I guess. And it's basically 4 of these mainsail rockets that I built attached together, and then I've got kind of the main atomic engine here in the middle with a little bit of power, and then under here is actually a satellite, which I will use to go, I don't know, somewhere. So let's give it a shot. I don't know what I'm doing here, so it'll probably kill me. But thankfully it's an unmanned probe. So, actually while I'm here, why don't I go ahead, since this is new, log gravity data. Oh, I think I already got this gravity data. Run atmosphere analysis. Keep the data on that. Why don't I Yeah, I can do that in space as well. So when we get up in the atmosphere, we'll hit those again. So in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is very loud. You can see it's accelerating. It's pretty stable so far. Tried to build this with some degree of balance on the mass. I'm a little worried about the fuel. So I don't actually need to go too fast. I don't need to go that fast. I can kind of back it down a little bit so I don't overheat, and therefore a little more efficient. And plus we'll also keep a little bit more stability, because these things tend to get a little crazy when you're going at very fast speeds. So I can back it down a little bit. Prepare for my turn. Going a little faster than I want to, but that's alright. I've also learned my lesson from like every other time I've built one of these gigantic rockets, and I put an incline wheel on here. It is wobbly a little bit. Throttle back just a tiny bit. See, there's our other one. He's heading way off to space. Let that bad boy go. What our apoapsis is now. Apoapsis. Ha! It's funny. They sound alike. So I can kind of actually, if I want to, lean a little bit more over. And it's trying to spin on me. It's a little bit wobbly. It's about 40,000. If I could do it, I would like to do it. Wait, that's actually on an impact trajectory now, isn't it? It's gonna go all the way out and come back in. No, it's not. I just thought it was. No, it's trying to escape, but it's not gonna escape. Silly me. What am I thinking? It's actually the kind of going out and then back in. So we're kind of in space now. We're in orbit. I want to keep this pointed almost at this prograde marker, just to make sure I'm gaining the most amount of speed I can. Can I do anything with this now? Oh yeah. I'll keep that. And that's ravioli. Nope, can't be done right now because I'm outside of Urban's gravity. So I'm actually going a little bit down. Okay, that's why. Pitch up, throttle up. Okay, this shit too shallow. Oh, now we're spinning, Slow down, slow down, slow down. Bring it under control, under control, under control. Don't spin too much. Oh god. That was a little too much. So, how y'all doing? Okay, see if I can add a maneuver here. Give me a little further out. That's not the maneuver I want. Add a maneuver here. Give me an orbit. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Yeah, this episode's running longer than I expected it to, didn't it? So I'm going to have to wait about a minute here. Stop. Stop, please. Stop. little bit. Slow down. Slow down. Can we spin around? Yeah, we're kind of too bulky at the moment to spin. But we don't probably have a big burn left to do. So this is actually not terrible for satellite launching. I just don't know how far I can get with it. And I am facing probably, as far as which side I should be facing, I'm facing the wrong way, so I want to spin around here real quick if I can. Oh, click out of the window, because I'm a dummy butt. Dummy butt. So we only have to burn about 590 more meters per second of delta V, which we can do. So stabilize that, please. And we'll do it really quickly here. Oh, she's spinning, she's spinning, she's spinning, she's spinning. Yeah, we pretty much just did that right there. Gosh, how much faster do we have to go? Okay. Just want to get clear of that. So using the separatrons. Goodbye. You can use that. It's probably spinning because I don't think it's connected up here for some reason. Huh. I'll have to look into that. But we're in space. Can extend the panels. I should have set up an action group for this before I did that. Would have made it a lot easier. Okay, setting up our photovoltaic panels. Status. Extending. And those are cool if they track the sun like that. This is in block by stack decoupler, yeah, so I could always rotate those around a little bit if I wanted to. But now I have a kind of a ship in orbit here. And I can also do all kinds of fun sciencey stuff. So most of this won't matter because I probably won't get a lot of it back, as I expect that a lot of it will be transmitted away. So I think I will go ahead and just kind of end the episode here. We have stuff in space. This guy's going off into the cosmos, never to be seen from again. And it's not even showing up. Alright, so that will be pretty much it for today. Stupid glitch. Visible ship glitch. I've had this happen before. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed just a little peek at what we might be doing soon. I'm going to work on building some more awesome ships, getting satellites into orbit. We'll probably do some docking practice at some point too. Oh, and yeah, there's that whole asteroid mission thing to deal with that I did with NASA too. So we might play that a little bit and save Kerbin from certain doom. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time here on Kerbal Space Program.